Hi guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you guys are new here. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, stay a while. I am very excited for this video. Today I'm going to be doing a story time, which I do not think I have done on my channel yet, so I think it's gonna be a fun time. Basically, this story time is going to be the real behind the scenes of what happened in Miami for my birthday trip. I personally cannot believe the shit that we went through in Miami, so I wanted to share with you guys. I think it's a great story. It's crazy and I just want to share it. So I'm gonna do that today. Before we get started into the stories, I just want to mention that I did already post 2 Miami videos on my channel. So if you guys want to check those out, I will link them below so you guys can get caught up and then come back to this video. Basically, I went to Miami from Sunday to Saturday. Well, I was supposed to go to Miami from Sunday morning to Saturday night, and I was gonna spend half the trip with my girlfriends and then the second half of the trip with my boyfriend, and that is still what happened. But the shit show of the, oh my god, it was all a shit show, honestly. I'm just gonna get into just from the beginning to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy. So let me freaking get into it because it's so much. All right, so we land in Miami on Sunday, April 4th at like 7 or 8 a.m. We check into our hotel. We have a whole day of just activities and it's super chill, super fun, and that was it. The next day is Monday, April 5th, and that is my birthday. So 3 of my friends, or actually 2 of my friends, come to Miami. We all get ready and we go to brunch, and brunch was very fun. We got bottomless mimosas, we had shots, and we had a great time. We were all definitely feeling the alcohol, and that's when the shit show began. So after brunch, we basically go kind of do our own things. We go to the beach or the pool and just relax there, and then we have dinner later that night. Somewhere between dinner and the few bars that we went to after dinner, I lose my wallet, and I did not realize that I lost my wallet until about like maybe 2 or 3 a.m. and at that point I was like, it's gone. I'm not gonna worry about it now, I'll deal with it in the morning. Basically, when I realized that I lost my wallet, it was just Heather and I. Everyone else was back at the hotel sleeping, so Heather and I get McDonald's and we go back to the hotel room. We decide we want to sleep on the balcony. So we literally slept on like beach chairs with towels as blankets. Everyone was like, why the fuck did you do that? It was actually really comfortable. The weather was nice. It was a vibe. We were right by the beach. It wasn't bad at all. But I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my god, what happened last night? What happened yesterday? And where the fuck is my wallet? I have no idea. And I'm just feeling like crap. So I don't really worry about it. I just continued to lay down because I just feel like crap. So we have to go to breakfast. I don't feel good. I feel sick. I am basically out of commission for the entire day, and still no sign of my wallet. We went to one of the bars. We called one of the bars and they did not find it. On the bright side though, none of my cards have been charged, so I just had put a hold on them and just was gonna worry about it later. Then later that night, we have plans to go on a booze cruise at sunset, so we go to the booze cruise and we have a great time. Honestly, I took like a 30-minute nap and that kind of cured me. And then being on the water for some reason just made me feel so good. I don't know if it was the fresh air or what, but I felt so much better after the boat. While we were on the boat, I randomly decided to check my DM requests, which I never ever do, and I had a freaking DM from the guy who found my wallet. So things are already starting to look up. He DMs me, he's like, don't panic, I have your wallet, like this is where I'm staying, come pick it up. So after the boat, we go pick it up, and I get my wallet back, basically. In my wallet, I had cash. I realized that $50 was missing, and I was like, $50 is missing, but like I could have spent it, so I'm not even gonna trip about it because everything else is there, and the man found my wallet, so if he took $50, who even cares at this point? I was just happy to have all of my stuff back. I'm just gonna add that like 2 or 3 weeks later, this guy DMs Heather and says that he did in fact steal the $50 from me, and my friend Heather was like, why the fuck would you tell me that 3 weeks later? So long story short, he did steal $50 from me, and it's kind of rude, but it's fine. At least he didn't take more things. That's his little tip for finding it and giving it back to me. But that isn't even the worst part of the story. We are not even at the shit show of the story yet. It literally gets worse. So the boat day was April 6th. April 7th, Chris comes into town. So Chris gets there at like 7 or 8 a.m. and my friends don't leave until later in the afternoon. So Chris gets there, he feels sick because of flying, he didn't eat, he didn't sleep, so he's trying to rest. I also don't really feel well, so I'm trying to rest. And the day kind of was just like wasted away because we just walked and we just like kind of relaxed with my friends before they left. And then, yeah, that was kind of it. We didn't really do much that day. Thursday, April 8th, we just go to the beach, we completely relax, we go to the beach, we go to the pool, and then we go to dinner. And it was a very nice day, it was very relaxing, and we had no issues. Friday, April 9th was when it all went downhill. On Friday, we had planned to go jet skiing. So we get these jet ski rentals through this app or website where basically a bunch of people list their boats and jet skis and everything for rental. So it seemed pretty legit, and we booked our jet ski rentals through this website. Chris had to get like a license or certificate to be able to drive the jet skis legally out there. So he does the course, and the guy was like, you're all set to go. We will see you guys at, I think we were going from like 1 to 3 or like 12 to 2 or something like that. We get off of our jet skis and we go have lunch. We have lunch at this really nice area, and I really enjoyed my food. Chris actually didn't like his food, so he had to send it back, and he didn't really eat. He ate some of my stuff, but he was just like, whatever, like, let's just leave. So we end up going shopping. We have a great rest of the day. It was very chill, and it ended up, you know, making up for the jet ski issue. And so after like hours of walking around and shopping, we Uber back to our hotel, and we start to pack up everything and get ready to leave the next day because all we want to do is go home. I tried finding flights to get home earlier because I was just so like over it. I really wanted to go home. We had no luck getting an earlier flight, so we were just making the best of it. We went back to the hotel to pack, and we were like, you know what? Let's have a nice dinner. We ordered food from the sushi restaurant downstairs, and we ordered this like really expensive steak because Chris was like, why not? Let's treat ourselves. It's our last night. Let's have a really nice dinner before we go home. So we ordered all of this food, sushi, like this really expensive steak, and just like a great dinner to have in our hotel room before we go home. And by the way, this is when the shit show really starts to happen. So like we're waiting for like 30 minutes, and the wait is supposed to be like 40 to 45, and 30 minutes in, Chris gets an email saying that our order had been canceled because the meat, they were like out of the meat that we wanted. The lady was like, don't worry about it, like we're gonna give you another meat, we'll let you know when your order's ready. So like more time goes by, so we end up just going downstairs and trying to see where our food is. And the lady was really nice, and she was like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry, like the first steak that you guys wanted we ran out of, so we wanted to give you the second best steak, but then we ran out of that, so we had to give you the third best steak, which we are grateful for because they took it off of our bill and we didn't have to pay for it, but like it did suck a little bit. So then we take all of the food to our hotel room and we start eating. It is literally the best steak and potatoes we have ever had. It was so freaking good. We ate all of our sushi and we were so invested in the food that we really wanted to finish it. So we were taking breaks, like we were breathing, we were like waiting, you know, for our stomachs to be ready so we can eat all of this food and really enjoy it. So we end up finishing the food completely and we go to bed basically. Like the night was over, we were leaving in the morning, we had to check out, and we had a day planned, so we wanted to go to bed early. So we go to bed. About 5 a.m. I just hear this crazy sound coming from the bathroom and I realize that Chris is throwing up. He is throwing up to the point where it's like scary, and he comes out and he was like, something's like not right. Like I feel so sick. And it's like 5 a.m. so I'm still like, you know, kind of not all there. I'm definitely still asleep and I just kind of go back to sleep, but I continue to hear him in and out of the bathroom throwing up. Checkout was at 11 and 10 a.m. comes around and he's still throwing up like an insane amount. If the neighbors could hear us, they would probably think he was dying. So I call the front desk and I'm like, my boyfriend is throwing up from the food that we ate at your guys' restaurant last night. Can we get a late checkout? Like, is there anything that you guys can do? Like, he is insanely throwing up right now and I don't know what to do. And she was like, yeah, we can only do 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll do the 30 minutes. I'll see what I can do. So 11:30 comes around and I go downstairs because obviously over the phone isn't working. And I go down there and I say, my boyfriend is still throwing up and he's been throwing up since 5 a.m. from the food that we ate at your guys' restaurant last night, and we can't leave this hotel room because he is throwing up so badly. And she was like, yeah, the most that I can do is an extra hour. And I was like, okay, well, we'll do that, but that's not enough time. So do you guys have any extra rooms? Can we stay another night? And she was like, yeah, you can stay another night for $700. And I was like, okay, no, we're not staying another night for $700. Like, that's ridiculous. So I go back to the hotel and I tell him, like, we have to leave. We can stay for another hour, but we have to leave. And at this point, our flight is still at like 6 o'clock and I'm still hoping to get on the flight. Like, I so badly want to go home. Like, that is the only thing that I've been thinking about for the last 2 days. I do not want to miss this flight. So we're searching up hotels that we can check into until our flight because he just needs to be like able to get to the bathroom like at any point. So we were having the worst luck because everything was booked and we just could not find anything. But eventually, Chris finds a hotel room right next to the airport that we can check into for the next few hours until we get onto our flight. So Chris calls this hotel, we get a room, and it's like $200 or something, and we're just like, fuck it, we have to do it. So we're laying down, I'm gathering all of our stuff, I'm finishing packing his stuff, I'm finishing packing my stuff, and he's just in and out of the bathroom. So the hour is up and I'm like, dude, we have to leave. Like, they're gonna kick us out. So I wheel all of our stuff down to the lobby and he's just following me. He's so sick. I feel so bad. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm starting to panic because I feel so helpless. We go down to the lobby and I'm like, I'm gonna call the Uber to go to the new hotel. And he was like, can you just wait? Because like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up right now. So he throws up outside of the hotel room and he's not doing well. So then after he throws up, he was like, okay, call now because I have like a window of time where I'm gonna be okay. So call the Uber so that by the time we get to the hotel, I'll be able to get sick in the hotel. So I call the Uber and we get into the Uber and I'm like, dude, where are we going? Like, I just thought that like we were going in the wrong direction. I don't know, something was weird. We're like driving through the neighborhood of like where we're supposed to go. And I was like, I don't think we're anywhere near an airport and like this area is really sketchy. And I was like really scared to be going into a hotel in like this sketchy area. We get to the destination and I literally see one of the Uber locations that I had Ubered us to like a few nights before. and realized that I Ubered us to the wrong place. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I felt so bad because he's clearly dying. Like, he just wants to get into the bed, into the hotel room, and I just Ubered us to the wrong freaking place. And I didn't tell him that that was where we were like a few nights before. I don't even think I told him to this day, so he's gonna find out here. And unfortunately, this has happened to me before. I, for some reason, like click different things and like go to like a previous address. I don't know how I do it, but I've done it before. So that's what I did this time, and I was like, fuck. Immediately I knew that I fucked up because I've done it before. So we're asking this Uber driver if he can just Uber us to the next location. Like, we'll pay for the Uber, but like, can he just take us like from here, you know, there? And he didn't really speak English, so he just was not understanding. I was pulling out cash so I can literally just pay him in cash to take us, and he just literally got out of the car, grabbed our bags from the trunk, and just left them on the street. Didn't even put them on the curb, he just put them on the fucking street. And so I was like, all right, Chris, like, we have to get out. I'll call another Uber, like, we'll get there ASAP. So we get out, right? This guy basically kicks us out to the curb. Chris, still not doing well, right? I call another Uber. He takes like 15 minutes to get there, and he finally arrives. We get into the car. I put all of our stuff. I'm like, take us to the hotel as fast as you can. And we get in there, and Chris is like, can I roll down the windows? Again, this guy doesn't speak English, so he's like confused to why Chris wants the windows down instead of the air, because it's like hot outside. And he's like, okay. So he turns off the air and just has Chris have the windows down. And he like turns onto a street, and then I realize that he turned onto a one-way street and is going the opposite direction of the way he should be going. And I'm like, there's no way. There's literally no way that this is happening. The driver realizes and starts to fucking panic, and he's like, oh my god, oh my god. And so he reverses. He's reversing on the one-way street, and we're just like, holy fuck, we're literally gonna die. Like, there's no way that it can get worse from here, but it does. And we're just like, oh my god, just please get us to the hotel. Like, just, it's all we want. So he flips a U-turn, he takes us to the hotel. Like 15-20 minutes later, we arrive, and we're just like jumping out of the car because we're like, thank God we never thought that we would see the day of us getting to the freaking hotel. So we go in, I check in, and we go up to the hotel room, and I open the door, and I walk in, and the first thing that I notice is just a whiff of cigarette smell. And I was like, no way, like literally no way. And so I walk in, I smell it, and I go, I'm so sorry. Because I know it's gonna trigger him. He's already sick, so this is already gonna just make him feel worse. And so he walks in, and he is kind of like, what? And then he realizes that it smells like smoke, and he just loses it. He kicks his suitcase and just goes to the bed, and we both just start bawling. We lose our mind, and I'm just hugging him, he's hugging me, because we are literally just done. We're over it. We're just so thankful that we're in this bed now, and we're finally in position. At this moment, I had to come to terms with the fact that we were not getting on that plane tonight, and I just have to deal with the fact that like I'm gonna be stuck in Miami for another night. And at this point is when I like really started to lose my mind. I really started to feel hopeless. I really started to feel helpless. I felt bad for him. I didn't know what to do. And I started to feel stuck and like claustrophobic because I felt like I couldn't leave. Like I felt stuck. Like literally I felt like I was like stuck there and I couldn't leave, and I didn't know when I could leave, and it was just the worst feeling ever. It made me feel so anxious, and I just never want to be back in that situation ever again. Basically, we call Chris's nurse friend, and he tells us like what we should do, because Chris's mom was saying that we needed to take him to the hospital, and I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, I cannot go to the hospital. That'll make me feel so much worse. Like, it'll make me feel so scared. So the nurse friend said that he didn't need to go to the hospital yet, but he told me what I should look for and like what would be a sign to take him to the hospital. So I was just kind of like monitoring him and making sure that he was okay. He basically slept from like whenever we got to the hotel until like 7 or 8 p.m. And honestly, the sleeping didn't really help him because he needed to like let out everything and, you know, start to eat and everything. So I had ordered him chicken noodle soup from Panera and some bread, and he could not eat it. Like, the only thing that he could eat were saltine crackers, like barely, and anything that he was drinking, he would just throw right up. So it was like just really, really unfortunate. I had been on the phone with JetBlue canceling our original flight because obviously we couldn't get on it. That happened and they gave me a credit. There was no issues. And then I was trying to find a flight home. I had been looking, but the only flight that was available was at like 7 a.m. and I didn't know if he would be able to get on a 7 a.m. flight. I was texting his mom trying to see if she can help me because I was not having any luck. We wanted to get on a flight like directly from Miami to LA and it just like was not looking promising. Eventually we booked a flight that was from Miami to Boston and Boston to LAX, and makes no sense, but that was the only one that was available. He had stopped throwing up about the time we got to the hotel, but he just still felt like really, 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 really sick and dehydrated and just all of that. So when we woke up at 5 a.m., I had gotten a notification about our original flight that was supposed to land in LA at like 11 p.m. or something. It didn't end up getting to LA until 2:30 a.m. So I was very grateful that we didn't get on that plane because Chris would have been miserable sitting in the airport and then it getting delayed, and just that would have been awful. I saw that our flight that we were about to get on was delayed 1 hour. So we went back to sleep for a little bit and then we went to the airport and everything, but I didn't tell him anything else because I was so stressed. I was stressed because I was like, okay, our flight from Miami to Boston is delayed and we won't get to Boston until basically the time we were supposed to get on the flight to go to LAX. So are we gonna miss that flight? Like, that sounds like we're gonna miss the flight, right? But I've never been on a connecting flight, so I was like, no, like, they'll figure it out. They're not gonna leave without us, right? Like, they're not gonna do that. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna have faith. I'm not gonna tell Chris. I don't wanna stress him out. I'm stressed out the entire flight from Miami to Boston, which was a 2-hour flight, and I was like, fuck. Like, we're gonna miss the flight. We're gonna miss the flight. But I was like, but no, we're not gonna miss it because they're gonna wait for us. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. So we're about to land, and over the announcement system, the pilot was like, okay, we have some people on this plane that need to get to a connecting flight that's about to take off. Please do not get off this flight unless you are those people. So I was like, okay, good, they're gonna wait for us. Like, yes, thank God. I wake Chris up and I say, we need to run to our next flight. Like, it's gonna take off without us if we don't book it. And he was like, oh fuck, like, okay. And he's still not really feeling well, but he slept the entire flight, so he's like doing a little bit better. And we land, and literally like 30 people, maybe not 30, but like 20 people stand up, and I'm like, okay, like either all of these people are on the flight, which is a good sign because they're not gonna leave without 20 people, or these people are annoying and didn't listen to the announcement and are gonna fuck us over. So we get off the flight and we book it to the next flight, even though I already got a notification saying it has taken off. So we run, we get there, and there's not a single soul sitting at the gate. Not even a worker, there's no one there. And we realize that we are stuck in Boston. So this is where I really start to just lose my mind. That was the breaking point, I think. Like, I was so close to getting home and then we just got stuck again, and I was just like, I lost it. So we walk to go try and get help, and every person we see that's JetBlue, we're like, where do we go, and they just keep pointing us in different directions. So finally we get to like the help desk and there's just this massive line, and I'll insert a picture because I think I have one. And I'm just in this line sobbing. The old man in front of me kept like looking like this, like to see if I was okay, because I was just not well. Like I was not okay. And at this point Chris like snaps out of his sickness because he's like, fuck, like I need to help her out, because I just completely shut down. And I feel like I'm gonna cry thinking about it because I was just so upset, so miserable. Like I was so sad. Like it was such a shit show. And I'm not because he got sick, like that's not to blame him at all, but it was just such a hard like 24 hours. The line isn't moving, like it's not going anywhere, and we're like, what the fuck do we do? So he's calling like JetBlue and I'm texting JetBlue, like trying to get in contact with someone that can help us. We're literally sitting in line for like 30 minutes and finally someone comes up to us and goes, this line like isn't gonna move, you should try going to another one of the help desks. And I was like, okay, why has no one told us that earlier, considering this line is so long? Like why make all of these people wait when there's another help desk? So we walk over to the other help desk and there's literally no one in line. There's one other person in front of us, and then we're helped, which is just ridiculous because why is there such a long line over there and there's no one in line here? But whatever. So we finally get helped, and this bitch has the audacity to tell me, well, if you knew your flight was delayed, why would you get on it? You knew you were gonna miss the next flight. And I was like, no, I didn't. I've never had this happen to me before, so how was I supposed to know? She was basically saying that she couldn't help me because it was my fault, and I was like, okay, no. First of all, the pilot said that we would make this flight, so you cannot even tell me that it's my fault because he literally said. So whatever. She was like, well, the only seats available are first class. And I was like, then put me in first class, like put me on a flight. Like, I don't care, I wanna get home. Like, I'm not having it. I'm drilling this girl, because I'm not getting stuck in Boston. She literally was like, you have to stay another night. And I said, no, fuck no. Because I have to work tomorrow and you're gonna pay me to stay in a hotel, you're gonna pay me for work tomorrow, and you're gonna put up with this because I'm not staying another night. I'm just not. So she can see that I'm not having it. And she goes, I'm gonna go talk to someone. She's gone for like 20 minutes. I'm like, where the fuck did she go? Did she forget about us? Does she not want to deal with us? Like, where did she go? She comes back and she literally goes, oh, so crazy. 2 people canceled their flights. Yeah, so crazy. What a coincidence. I'm sure that actually happened. Like, literally, fuck you, but thank you for getting me on this flight. So she finally like gets us on this flight. We have to pay like however much money to get on this flight. No, wait, did we have to pay? No, we didn't have to pay for this one, but we did have to pay for like the original, like switching the flights, because like it was our fault, whatever. Anyways, so she finally gets us on a flight that's for like, was it 5 or like 4 p.m. We weren't gonna land at LAX until like 8 or 9, something like late. At this point, it's probably like maybe like 2 or 3 hours until our flight. And we were like kind of relaxed at this point. We were like, okay, like we can stop stressing out because we are finally getting on this flight. We're going home. Like, we only have a few more hours left. Like, we can do this. Like, we're gonna be okay. So I get some coffee. We just sit at the gate and we just like kind of relax because we're just so overwhelmed. We've been so stressed, and it's getting closer to our flight. And, you know, the JetBlue people come to the gate and they start like making announcements and stuff, and they let us know that it's delayed. And I'm like, there's no way, there's no way, there's literally no way, like, please don't do this to us. It ended up only being delayed like not more than an hour. I don't think it ended up being like pretty fine, but it was still very stressful because I was like, how much longer do we have to be stuck here? So we end up getting on the plane. Finally, we get home in LA. Like, oh my god, we literally did not think that we would get there, and we finally did, so thank god. But we get to LAX and we go get our luggage, and my luggage is missing. My luggage is not there. My luggage is MIA. They didn't send my luggage to LAX. So I had to go and deal with all of that. I had to file a claim, like do all this shit, and they were like, okay, we'll send it to your house like when it arrives in LA. So I have to wait like a day or two for my luggage, which was fine. It wasn't the end of the world. It was just more annoying than not. But that was our experience in Miami, and it was draining. It was an experience for sure, but we both said like we don't want to travel, we don't want to get on a plane, we don't want to go to Miami, like we're chill for now. I want to go to Rolling Loud in Miami, but I'm just not. I'm just so traumatized. I just do not want to go. But yeah, you guys, I think that concludes this story. I feel like I left some things out. I really hope that I didn't, because this story, when we told it to Nicole and Daniel, it was like so crazy, and I just hope I didn't forget anything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for listening and experiencing this traumatic trip with us. I told Chris though, we've had such amazing experiences traveling together and like flying and like going places, and we've never had delays, we've never had any issues. So it was just bound to happen that one trip was just gonna go absolutely terrible, and it's okay that it was this trip. It sucks, but it was bound to happen, and I'm just happy that we're home. I'm happy that we're safe. I'm happy that he's okay, and it was just food poisoning and we didn't have to go to the hospital, and that we're home, and I have Cooper now, and everything's okay. Just take this as a reminder that not everything you see on the internet is what it actually is in real life. Yes, we did have a great time, and the things that we did do were very fun, and you know, even though the jet ski experience was really annoying, we still had a great time doing it. It was a fun experience. It was really pretty, so that was really nice. But, you know, just remember that things aren't always as glamorous and fun and great as they look online. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.